Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, today we are starting politics. The syllabus I told you, right? The revised syllabus. Which chapter is deleted? From politics, the last chapter is deleted. That is the democratic rights. Okay. Your last chapter, fifth chapter, that is democratic rights, deleted. And also from the next chapter, that is constitutional design. The first portion is deleted, that is a democratic constitution in South Africa. In your textbook, in the constitutional design, the chapter 2, you saw the democratic constitution in South Africa. I think it's in page number 41. In your political science textbook, page number 41. 41 to 43. So this chapter we are starting with why do we need a constitution? The first portion is deleted. Clear, children? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Democratic constitution in South Africa is deleted, and also the last chapter is deleted. That is the democratic rights. So this chapter begins with why do we need a constitution? Constitutional design, your second chapter. So what is a constitution? Please don't look at the textbook.
A set of rules and regulations.
A set of rules and
Wait.
regulations.
Okay, it's a set of, okay, Rifa, first you tell. It's
It is
a
a set of rules and regulations which is required for the maintenance of a country.
okay.
The
Melvin,
well-good.
can you say?
Everyone is lower than the law. From the president to the normal man, everyone is under the law
Okay.
of constitution.
Can we say that all the constitutions are written?
No.
No. Which country have an unwritten constitution? Which country's constitution is unwritten? Okay, which is the oldest constitution?
US.
US. Which is the largest written constitution?
Indian.
Indian. Which countries is unwritten constitution? British constitution is unwritten. Okay. So constitution, it is not compulsory, it should be written, but nowadays all the democratic countries have a written constitution. So first you say what all things you know about constitution.
It is rules and regulations.
It is a set of rules and
Rules and regulations.
Yes.
How a government should
Okay.
rule
We know
the
that in
country.
the school, we know that the school diary, right? In your school diary, it's a constitution of your school. That means each and every laws regarding the school is written there, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You all have your school diary with you. If you check that, you can see that all the rules you must follow in the school. Everything, your dress code, your language, and all the things are clearly written in the school diary. Same way, for a country also, we need a set of rules and regulations. Such type of rules and regulations are written where it is written in the constitution. So then what all things you know about constitution? About the Indian constitution. Indian constitution is the largest written constitution.
It is rigid.
Sorry?
It is rigid.
A little bit louder.
It is rigid.
Indian constitution is rigid?
No, it is flexible.
It is not so rigid, it is not so flexible. Because if you want to change any of the particular, it is not so easy to amendment some parts of the constitutions. Okay, so it is rigid one, because if you want to amend the basic features of the constitution, it is very difficult. Too much procedures are there. Same way, it is so it is a little bit rigid. But if you want to amendment the some parts of the constitution, it is easy. So it is flexible. So Indian constitution is not so rigid, not so flexible. In between that, for some amendments it is rigid, for some it is flexible. So we can't say it is a rigid one.
It is divided into many parts.
Indian constitution is divided into parts and schedules. Then, okay, why a country need a constitution?
Right.
Aman, Emil, Rifa, all of you turn on your videos.
Yes.
Aman, can you say why a country need a constitution?
The country needs a constitution.
John,
because,
Pratyush, all of you turn on your videos. Aman, I think in the 8th standard you studied. Why do we need a constitution?
it is based on the constitution. The
It's not
government is
clear,
ruling the
a little
country.
bit louder.
It is based on the constitution. The government is ruling the country.
1 minute, 1 minute. Aman,
Yes, ma'am.
Aman?
Yes, ma'am.
No, his sound I am not able. My sound. Okay, can you say why do we need a constitution?
It is based on the constitution. How the country should be governed.
Not clear.
Ma'am,
Sahiba,
it's
can you say why do we need a constitution?
Because we need a government to protect our.
I can't hear anything. Can you hear?
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Rifa, can you hear her?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm not able to hear anything. Yes, okay, Ashik. Maybe my audio problem. So why a country need a constitution? Can you use the chat box? Sainaba.
Yes, ma'am.
Why a country need a constitution? Melvin, why a country need a constitution?
To make the
Use the chat
people
box to guide. Okay. Yes, anyone can respond. Okay, not only one or two. Yes, to guide the people of a country. Okay, Ashik. Then it tells the limit of the government as well as the rights of the people. Okay. To treat everyone equally. Okay, good. I just want to control. Definitely, we need a constitution to control all of them. Then only this much. Any other answer?
It gives coordination.
To protect the rights of the people. Okay. Giving equal rights for voting. Yes, right. Because we need a government to protect our natural rights to life. Maintenance and coordination. Very good responses are coming. It gives coordination. Okay. Enough. Anybody's typing? Okay. So what is a constitution and why do we need a constitution? Okay, some more. Tell who all are responsible for taking certain decisions to prevent leaders from misusing their power. Government rules the country based on constitution. Okay, very good. So you already said why do we need a constitution? So the constitution, we know it is a set of rules that govern the country. And we can once again check. All these points are correct. So the name of the chapter is Constitutional Design. What is a constitution? A constitution of a country is a set of written rules that are accepted by all the people living together in a country. So it's a set of rules that is accepted by all the peoples living in the country. Or it is a supreme law. Constitution is a supreme law that determines the relationship among people living in a territory and also the relationship between the people and the government. So how to define constitution? It is a constitution of a country is a set of written rules that are accepted by all the people living together in a country. It is a set of written rules that are accepted by all the peoples living together in a country. The same definition you taught. Only one or two words are added here. Then it is a supreme law. Constitution is a supreme law that determines the relationship among people living in a territory and also the relationship between the people and government. So the constitution clearly explains the relationship among the people of the relationships among the citizens and also the relationship between the people and the government. So clear how to define the constitution? It is a set of written laws or rules that are accepted by all people living together in a country. The Indian constitution is accepted by all the people who are living in the country. Then it is a supreme law that determines the relationship among the people living in a territory. The people living within a territory are called its citizens. And also it explains the relationship between the people and the government. So the constitution explains the relationship among the people and also it explains it determines the relationship between the people and the government. Then, why do we need a constitution? All the points you said is divided into 4 main points here. Why do we need a constitution? First one, it generates a degree of trust and coordination that is necessary for different kinds of people to live together. What does it mean? It generates, the constitution generates a degree of trust and coordination that is necessary for different kinds of people to live together. What does it mean?
All are equal in the eyes of law.
How constitution helps to create or generate a degree of trust and coordination among the different types of people living in a country?
All are equal in the eyes of law.
Please use the chat box. Why we need a constitution? The first important point is it generates a degree of trust and coordination that is necessary for different kinds of people to live together in a country. Then how? Okay, all are equal before law. Right, Nirbama? Then so remember the first point, why do we need a constitution? It generates a degree of trust and coordination among the people, among the different kinds of people living in a country. That is very important. As there are people from many different social backgrounds. Yes, Rifa, correct. All are equal in the eyes of law. Yes. Any other answer? All of you can respond. Okay. So the first point is the degree of trust and coordination among the different peoples who are living in the country. In the case of India, we know. Yes, no one is inferior to us, everyone is considered equal. Yes, correct. There is no discrimination. Yes, that is a correct definition for that point. In the case of India, we know different culture, different customs, different religion, different caste, and all are there in India. Okay. So in the constitution, how it help to generate a degree of trust and coordination? First one is, it makes the special provisions in the constitution for protecting the rights of the minorities, the minority communities, or for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. And also the constitution gives them special rights. I think in the last year you studied about fundamental rights. You studied? In the first chapter, the Indian Constitution, yes, the fundamental rights of the people. In that, one of the most important right to equality. That means no one can be discriminated on the basis of their caste, creed, gender or anything. That is the first one, right to equality. All are equal before law. It helps to create a degree of trust and coordination among the people. There is no social discrimination or right to freedom. Okay. Then another important is the cultural and educational right. The cultural and educational right is there in our constitution for protecting the minorities, to protecting their culture. And also by the fundamental right of cultural and educational right, they can start new educational institution. I think you studied that portion.
Yes, ma'am.
We need a constitution. The first important point is it generates a degree of trust and coordination among the people that is necessary for the different kinds of people to live together, right? In the case of India, you heard about the caste system that prevailed in India. Caste, the four castes were there: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. The Shudras are considered as the lower caste people. Even they are not permitted to touch the upper caste people. They are not, they cannot use the public wells. They cannot walk through the public place. In that system, caste system was too much rigid. But after independence, we have the fundamental right. The first one is right to equality. That means no person can be discriminated on the basis of their caste or a class or their gender. It's a fundamental right. So the constitution, where these laws were written, it is written in the constitution. And also for the protection of the minorities, the constitution made some provisions for the protection of the minorities, SCs, scheduled caste. Aksana, what are you doing there? Scheduled tribes. And also the cultural and educational right is there. The minorities, they can start their own educational institution for the promotion of their culture. Because our constitution is accepting all the categories of people. Clear the first point? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first one is it generates a degree of trust and coordination that is necessary for different kinds of people to live together. Different kinds of people, the term itself, how? That means the people belonging to different caste, either different religion, different linguistic, language minorities also. Don't think that minority means only religious minority. It may be a linguistic minority too. So our constitution is there to protect their rights. So we need a constitution. We need a written document to protect all these things. Okay? That's the first point. It generates a degree of trust and coordination that is necessary for different kinds of people to live together. Second one. Second point. It specifies how the government will be constituted, who will have the power to take which decisions. Second point. First point is generate a degree of trust and coordination. Second one, it specifies how the government will be constituted and also who will have the power to take which decision. What does it mean? Who will have the power to take which decision? That means in the constitution itself, the power of the each organs of the government is clearly divided. Which are the organs of the government?
Legislative.
Chat box, I told you some audio problem. I'm not able to hear you. So please use the chat box. Yes. 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 Correct. So a government have three organs, isn't it? Which are the three organs of the government? Legislature, executive and judiciary. The three organs of the government are legislature, executive and judiciary. In the constitution, it is clearly defined the power of the three, separation of power. One of the most important key feature of Indian constitution is separation of power. That means the power of the three organs are clearly defined in the constitution. Legislature, they will make the law. Executive, they will implement the law. And judiciary, they will interpret the law. So who will have the power and take which decision? And also how the government will be constituted. In the case of India, in our constitution itself, it is written, it is following a parliamentary form of government based on universal adult suffrage. What do you mean by universal adult suffrage? Universal adult suffrage. Or universal adult franchise. What does it mean?
Above 18.
Above 18, every student can vote. Everyone
Age above age of 18, they are able to vote.
Above age of 18.
Right to vote for an adult after 18 years. Okay, Vishnupriya, correct answer. So the universal adult suffrage means those who are above the age of 18 with a sound mental status have the right to vote. In our constitution, it is clearly written, we are following a parliamentary form of government and also there is separation of power. That's the second point written here. It specifies how the government will be constituted. and also who will have the power to take which decision. The 2 points are clear to you? First one,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
generates a degree of trust and coordination that is necessary to different kinds of people to live together. Second one, it specifies how the government will be constituted and who will have the power to take which decisions. Clear? Okay. So the one more period we have, right? The last period. That time we can discuss the next points. So children, please read the textbook. I told you the first 4 pages deleted. Once again, the chapter begins from why do we need a constitution? That is from the page number 44, because before that it is explained about the South Africa. So our chapter is starting from the page number 44. The constitution of a country is a set of rules. After the activity, you saw that portion? An activity is given in the box, and below that the chapter will begin, because till that portion it is explained about South Africa. That portion is deleted. Okay, so for the next class only a few topics. What is constitution and only the why do we need a constitution? Only 2 points we discussed. Please read that portion before the last class. Okay. Thank you all. Bye all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.